Okay, military backs Chiwenga as tensions mount over Mnangagwa's term extension bid. Zimbabwe. Political instability is reaching a boiling point in Zimbabwe as deep fractures within the state security apparatus threaten to upend the presidency of Emmerson Mnangagwa. Intelligence sources and political analysts report an explosive standoff between President Mnangagwa and his powerful vice president, Constantino Chiwenga, centered heavily on controversial legislative maneuvers to alter the country's constitution. Welcome back. Tiripo pano pamzinda wevanhu ndini wenyu Supergalo. Vasati vava subscribed, please do so now. Follow the channel and stay tuned. Right, the diplomatic silent treatment. The latest wave of tension comes on the heels of high-stakes diplomatic activity at the Monomotapa offices. Vice President Chiwenga held back-to-back closed-door meetings with outgoing British Ambassador Pete Vowles and the Ambassador of the Netherlands. In a move that has fueled intense speculation across the capital, Chiwenga strictly refused to brief the press or grant media interviews following the sessions. Despite both foreign envoys speaking to journalists, inside sources suggest the silence masks frantic behind-the-scenes negotiations aimed at managing an escalating constitutional crisis. A divided military, Zimbabwe. At the heart of the dispute is CAB 3, a legislative bill moving through parliament heavily orchestrated by the Mnangagwa faction to extend the president's time in office beyond his current term. The maneuvers have reportedly triggered a dangerous rift within the Zimbabwe National Army, ZNA. Reports indicate that while certain high-ranking generals have been placated with state-allocated farms, luxury vehicles, and financial incentives, a massive faction of the military, including influential senior generals and highly disgruntled junior soldiers, is firmly backing Chiwenga. The security structures encompassing military intelligence and the broader intelligence framework remain staunchly opposed to any extension of the presidential term limit. Political commentators warn that the crisis has outgrown the jurisdiction of parliament or the courts. Things are not normal in Zimbabwe. The security structures are opposed to the plan to extend the term. This is an explosive situation that will ultimately be decided by the military generals, not by parliamentary drama. Zvose also zvinoedwa weight nezvakataurwa nezuro naComrade Chivero. Right? Allegations of parliamentary bribery, adding fuel to the fire, are damning allegations surrounding the voting process for CAB 3. Whispers of massive financial corruption have surfaced, with claims that multi-millionaire business allies connected to the presidency have extracted an estimated $31 million to buy legislative support. Reports allege that individual members of parliament are being paid cash sums of up to $50,000 each to ensure the bill successfully passes through the House. Even Comrade Knox Chiweronezuro, in his video, he confirmed this. However, political insiders insist that even if the bill passes, Mnangagwa's grip on actual power is severely eroded. The prevailing consensus among regional analysts points toward an imminent political transition, either through a negotiated stepping down process or an orchestrated impeachment, positioning Chiwenga as the primary figure poised to assume the presidency. As the country enters a highly volatile period, all eyes remain fixed on the barracks, where the ultimate distribution of power in Zimbabwe will likely be decided. Zimbabwe, those kuitika right now munomunyika yedu. But also, let's look at the regional news. What is happening within SADC region? Right, we have a couple of headlines that were not bad. We keep each other updated. So, one, high-level legal and judicial meetings at Victoria Falls. A crucial SADC committee meeting of ministers of justice and attorneys general is taking place at Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe, chaired by South African Justice Minister Mamaloko Kubai. The legal heads are reviewing international legal instruments and cross-border protocols. This comes right after a series of SADC agricultural ministerial summits in the same venue aimed at harmonizing regional fertilizer policies and animal disease control to combat food insecurity. Right. Headline number 2. SADC crackdown on illicit financial flows. Right. There's a meeting in Gaborone, Botswana. The SADC Anti-Money Laundering and Combating the Financing of Terrorism Committee, AML or CFT, officially operationalized new regional measures. Acting Finance Minister Wainta Molotsi highlighted that the region is heavily prioritizing the blockage of illicit financial links to fortify domestic economies against global geopolitical shocks and limited fiscal spaces. Number 3, headline Mnangagwa right now, major regional police and security summit announced. SADC has finalized plans to hold its 31st annual general meeting of the Chiefs of Police Subcommittee, SARPCCO, in Lilongwe, Malawi, from June 11 to 12. The high-level security meeting will specifically target the recent surge in transitional organized crime gripping the region, focusing heavily on cybercrime, cross-border drug trafficking syndicate networks, and vehicle theft. Then the headline number 4, Road to the 46th SADC Summit in Durban. South Africa has officially opened media accreditation for the 46th Ordinary SADC Summit of Heads of State and Government, scheduled for August 16 to 17, 2026, in Durban, KwaZulu-Natal. The summit will mark the official handover of the 12-month regional chair positioning to South Africa. Right, let's get to global news. World headlines on a global level. Let's keep each other updated. That's why I'm going to 1. Middle East peace talks stall as truce rejected. Efforts to de-escalate the ongoing crisis in West Asia have hit a major roadblock. Ceasefire talks have officially stalled after Hezbollah rejected the terms of a proposed Israel-Lebanon pact. Concurrently, routine breaches continue along the border, with Israeli forces positioned deep within Lebanese territory, while cross-border exchanges show no signs of slowing down. Number 2 headline, Russia beefs up air defenses against drone strikes. President Vladimir Putin announced that Russia is drastically reinforcing its domestic air defense grids. The decision follows a massive spike in long-range strategic Ukrainian drone strikes, striking deeper into Russian territory, hitting industrial hubs and fuel depots over the past several weeks. Let's look at headline number 3. United States slams sanctions on Cuban president. The United States government has leveled fresh sanctions against Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel. Washington cited escalating crackdowns on internal dissent and human rights violations as the primary catalyst, freezing accessible state assets and squeezing the island's leadership. 4. Headline number 4. High stakes AUKUS submarine shifts. The trilateral AUK-US Defense Pact, US, UK, and Australia dominates global defense headlines following a major modification to its execution roadmap. Australia confirmed it will acquire 3 pre-existing used Virginia-class submarines straight from active US Navy service starting in 2032 as a stopgap measure, adjusting initial plans to bridge the capabilities gap before domestic nuclear submarine production can begin. And then the last headline, environmental cost of AI data hubs sound alarms. Environmental cost AI yatufara kushandisa mazuano kula iso yakukoza ma-alarms. A sweeping global energy report has revealed that the water usage, electricity consumption, and carbon footprint of global AI data centers have risen exponentially. The infrastructure required to power the current generation of artificial intelligence models now rivals the entire energy grids of mid-sized industrialized nations. AI, right? Zimbabwe. This is what's happening muno Zimbabwe and in the region and also on a global level. Muripo pano pamzinda wevanhu. Neni wenyu Super Galo. Stay tuned. Stay blessed. Peace.